Alright, let's talk about this fucking matchup. So, this is like a 90-10 matchup for me. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. Um, and I'm pretty sure that in my sort of like analysis of the matchup, I found a line that Keon can take that is a guaranteed loss for me. I think there's borderline nothing I can do to stop it, even if I know exactly what's about to happen. I just don't think I can stop it. Um, so that was fun to deal with. And on top of that, I have barely been able to prep because I've been working all week. Uh, so yeah, this is probably going to be like the most lopsided and like uninteresting to watch match of the entire season. Um, because like pretty much the only way that I even have a chance is if Keon misses the prep, or plays like shit. Because I think this matchup is so bad for me that even if I am like outplaying every turn, I'll probably still lose. um, and it's really frustrating too because last week's matchup was a pain in the ass for me as well, and I didn't play that great. After game one, I got pretty tilted, but it's still just like hitting probably my two worst matchups in the entire league back to back after a pretty good start is really frustrating. And then I just have to play like every person in the top 50% of the league back to back to back for the rest of the season. So I honestly might just go the rest of the season without winning a single set, which is really cool. But yeah, so I guess I'll talk about this matchup a little bit. I don't want to go like super in depth about it because I guess if I did sort of pull out off a couple more wins and I make it to playoffs, there's a chance that I would rematch Keon. And just in case he like doesn't find the line, I don't want to just give it to him for free. Um, but I mean, there's not. I have to talk about the matchup, right? I guess I could choose just not to post this, but I don't think it is really that impactful. But yeah, so let's talk about what I expect. Salamence and the Rain Boys are definitely coming. Gallade is 100% coming. I think Gallade has to show up. I also expect the Scizor, and then it will be probably either Indeedee or Electrode. I think the Indeedee is probably more difficult to deal with, but they're both equally bad. Um, Magmortar also could show up. It could be a little bit tricky, but I think I'm more worried about the Indeedee or the Electrode. Um, in terms of the sets, that's probably where I'm gonna be more. Uh, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. Like I'm gonna keep it more to the chest. All I'll say is I expect the Politoed to be Ability Shield. Um, it'll either be Indeedee or Politoed, like guaranteed. But I think Politoed is the scarier of the two to be Ability Shield. Because the team can kind of deal with Wheezing, even if you don't need the Psychic Terrain to get rid of Wheezing. You can just hit it with Indeedee or like Psycho Cut with Gallade or whatever. Um, but yeah, um, that's all I'm gonna say for the sets because everything else is just bad for me. But yeah, so this is probably what I'm bringing. Uh, I I don't know. I don't think this matchup is winnable for me. It's so bad. Um, and the thing is, like, I can't even really make a plan because I don't know what I'm gonna see. Um, like every time I thought that I had come up with like a solution, I just realized that it's I have to basically get I have to get turn 1 in terms of the leads and what moves those two Pokemon click perfectly correct in order to not immediately lose the game. That's just how it is. Um, and the thing is, like, I can't bring really any of my other Pokemon, right? Like, Incin cannot come because it just loses to the Politoed, it loses to the Gallade, it loses to Ludicolo, loses to Glimmora if that shows up. Um, Jolteon sucks. I'm getting rid of it. That's probably something I'll talk about. I'm going to record another video after I get shit on, talking about the first half of the season. And I'll probably talk about my transaction that I made during that video. Mamoswine cannot come. Again, gets shit on by Politoed, Ludicolo, Gallade, Magmortar even, Scizor for sure. Like, Mamoswine cannot show up to this matchup. And then Lokix is another Pokemon that I'm getting rid of because it's not strong enough. Tinted Lens does not save it from having a pretty mediocre attack stat. But yeah, so I'm basically like required to bring these 6. And there's like very clear-cut solutions to all of them, right? Like, Gallade pretty much can beat this entire team. Especially like the Goodra, right? Sacred Sword is going to one-shot it if it's Life Orb. Same thing with like if the Scizor's Choice Band Close Combat, it'll one-shot Goodra. And I just kind of have to accept it because if I invest, all my EVs into defense, then I can't get knockouts, and I need to at least have something. So like, I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah, this Weezing's pretty weird. You might notice I'm bringing like 2 mixed attackers this week because Flash Cannon does not do enough damage, and Heavy Slam is a 2-shot on like Gallade and Indeedee, which is really nice. But obviously I can get like intimidated by the Salamence, which is another issue. This Weezing, I really don't know. Fire Blast is for the Scizor. It's a guaranteed 1-shot on max HP Scizor. Gunk Shot is for the Ludicolo. The one thing that I have in this matchup is that the like combination of Palafin and Goodra is like pretty tricky to deal with, or it can be pretty tricky to deal with. Because you want like Ludicolo and Electrode to deal with the Palafin, but they can't really do anything to Goodra, and then Scizor and Gallade are the 2 main ways that you're gonna just like immediately get Goodra off the field. But a Wave Crash in the Rain from this Palafin will one-shot both of them if they're not like more invested in defense than usual. If they're just max HP, then a Rain boosted Wave Crash will guarantee Oko both of them, which is super nice, I guess. I mean, this Palafin is pretty standard. I have Jet Punch on there, even though I know I'm going into Psychic Terrain, but like, there's really not a better move. So I figured, I guess I might as well. Like, maybe I can pick off like a Scizor going for Bullet Punch or something. If it's hitting into Guardy or something. Oh, this is actually, this is Sunny Day now. Sinistra's next. This is kind of a weird Sinistra, but like not really. The thing about Sinistra is it just gets hit by so many moves for super effective. Like, I'm really struggling to get my speed control active in these last couple weeks because the last 2 opponents I've played have just had like the most free solutions into Mamoswine ever, and then a broken flying type. So I can't do anything about it. But yeah, I mean, the weakness policy in Giga Drain will one-shot a max HP Politoed. So the idea is I guarantee underspeed the Politoed. Hopefully it goes for like Ice Beam, procs my weakness policy, and then either I Trick Room and then can Giga Drain the next turn, or I just go for Giga Drain right away and just knock out the Politoed. Shadow Ball is for the Gallade. A weakness policy boosted Gallade, or a weakness policy boosted Shadow Ball will one-shot the Gallade and then just Rage Powder and Trick Room. I think if I can get Trick Room up, I'm in an okay spot. Because the thing is, my Weezing and my Goodra are the two slowest Pokemon in the matchup. So if I can get Trick Room up, they should be able to put in some decent work. But at the same time, once these two are knocked out, or if they're like not on the field, like the rest of my Pokemon are pretty fast, so the Trick Room could sort of come back to bite me. Um, but like again, like these are really the only six Pokemon I think I can realistically bring to the matchup. So I just kind of have to hope that I can play better. I guess like I really do not know. It's going to be such a boring game to watch. Next is this Guardy. I'm running Expanding Force instead of just Psychic because of the Indeedee. I don't mind losing the like 10 base power if I then can threaten a spread Expanding Force if the Indeedee does show up. The idea with the Scarf is that I can hopefully outspeed the Salamence and just one-shot it with Moonblast to prevent it from getting like a Tailwind up or something. But that's obviously easier said than done. The trick in mocks, I think I played like 2 mocks. I did not click trick a single time, and I probably won't. But I did have one situation where I think looking back on it, what I could have done was tricked the Choice Scarf onto my own Sinistcha, which would have made me then faster than the Gallade, and I could have one-shot it with Shadow Ball, but that's a hard, that's kind of a hard thing to pick up. Or actually, no, it wouldn't even have worked because the Scizor was on the field and I just got bullet punched anyway. Yeah, I don't know. And then this Flamigo. This Flamigo is pretty weird. The main thing is the Quick Guard, hopefully to protect the Gardevoir from bullet punches and fake outs. And then Wide Guard is there for if the Electrode has Electro Web, or if the Indeedee is clicking Expanding Force. I guess if the Salamence has like Rock Slide or something, I don't think it will, but I guess it could. Or maybe Earthquake. I don't know. The main thing is I didn't really think I needed a fighting move because the only Pokemon that gets hit for weakness with fighting is the Mabostiff, which I don't expect to see. And if it is there, then I should hopefully be able to deal with it with the Guardy, is my thought process. But yeah, I mean, pretty much every Pokemon here is just tricky. I have no idea. The dual wing beat is there so that if the Ludicolo is Focus Sash, I can KO it through the Focus Sash. And also, I don't want to run Brave Bird because I'm Focus Sash myself. But yeah, I mean, this is really the best I can do. I already know that it's not good enough. But the issue is I don't think anything that I could come up with is good enough, just because the matchup is so awful for me. I think all I can really hope for is, Keon over preps for Mamoswine for some reason, and maybe like doesn't expect Weezing for some stupid reason, or just plays bad. Like I just have to hope for a mistake, which is the worst feeling ever for draft, and it's something that I really tried to work around, but it's not possible in this matchup. This matchup is so bad for me that I just have to hope for mistakes. I guess ideally maybe I take a game or like make the differential kind of close, but I do not expect to win at all. So, yeah, I guess that's the prep. Pretty short one this week. The game is also probably going to be pretty short. Oh, I guess I can talk about my game plan a little bit before I kill it. Yeah, I mean the game plan basically is like I think I'm kind of forced to lead Weezing on turn one of game one, and just hopefully I can learn where the ability shield is, because if the ability shield is on Indeedee, that's really, really nice information for me to know. I think my plan for game one is probably I maybe like Weezing Palafin on lead, and then like Gudra Guardy in the back, I guess. Um, I expect it will be a Salamence plus Ludicolo lead. I think that's a very strong lead for Keon. Like, there's honestly not really anything I can do about it unless I like hard predict it and quick guard with Flamigo and then one shot the Salamence with Moonblast. But uh, it's not going to be that easy. That's kind of a one-time thing that I can get away with. Um, I don't know. I really this week I just have to like again I have to hope for Keon to make mistakes, or I don't know, me to pull some magic out of my ass, because it's not gonna happen. Uh, when this lead inevitably doesn't work, I'll probably try to pivot to the Trick Room mode. Um, the issue is right with the Sinistra is I have no way to support it this week because I cannot bring Incineroar, and Incin is my only fake out. My only redirection is on Sinistra itself, which obviously that doesn't work. Um, so I guess at that point I just have to hope that somehow, whatever two Pokemon are in front of me can't prevent the Trick Room from going up, or whatever. Maybe I would do like Guardy plus Sinistra on lead, and hope that I can like snipe something with the Moonblast or Expanding Force, or yeah, I really have no clue. Um, I don't know. I guess there is maybe a little bit of irony if somehow I win this set and I post this video of me just complaining about the matchup the whole time. But yeah, I really do not expect it to go very well at all. Um, I'm hoping that the transactions I made are sort of gonna like patch some of the issues with the team. I'm quite happy with the Raichu pickup. Yeah, I guess I can talk about this really quick. So the two Pokemon I picked up were Raichu and Honchkrow. I'll talk more about it in detail with the video that I said I was gonna make about like the first half of the season. Raichu is a pickup that I'm very happy with. And Honchkrow is just kind of nice because it does basically the same thing as Low Kicks, but it costs one less, and it gives me more options for speed control. So, in my opinion, it's just two like direct upgrades from Jolteon and Low Kicks. But yeah, I guess that's just something I'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, I think now I'm actually done. So, uh, fuck me, I guess. I don't know.